I'm gonna take this good stuff. All right, we can start.
Okay, cool.
Dude, how you doing, man?
Awesome. It's been a while since actually seeing your face. Since what? It was a couple years ago when you were still in California,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
we
When I
we
was,
we went to the beach. I
yeah,
remember
no, we
that.
did. No,
It
we went
was
to the beach and we went to a food hall, man. But no, it was
that was
super
great.
great, and that's what I say here. Thanks for coming on, man. I
Of course.
got Mike Zuniga here, with Mike Zuniga Films, and he's a wonderful guy. He's a content creator. He's a filmmaker. He's just an all around fantastic individual that I think can add a lot of value to a lot of people's lives, especially in today's social media market where everybody can kind of build a brand, build a presence, and definitely build an online presence through his creativity and everything else. But Mike, I really want to ask, man, how did you get started in this whole world, and what made you pick up a camera and start filming?
All right. So interesting story because this happened when part of it happened when we were still in college, like the
Yeah,
turning point. But I'll get to that. I would say I got started into filmmaking back in high school. I mean, before that, I always enjoyed making videos. Whenever there was like a class project that required you, they asked um, you to do either a video or write a paper. I was like, I'm doing a video, of course.
yeah,
So, so that's what I did. And over time, I mean, I did a couple videos here and there, but played football and I was part of other clubs in high school. So that took up most of my time. So the video stuff went on the back burner. But when I got into college, got recruited to play football, played football my freshman year in college. And at the end of that year, I mean, luckily I was able to play a full season. By the end of that year, during spring conditioning, um, accidentally broke my leg in the middle of conditioning. Were you
man.
there yet? No,
No,
because I was a freshman. That's right.
yeah,
For some reason, I always thought you were there.
yeah, I know.
You were always around.
I'm in your life for
Yeah,
sure.
but yeah, it was kind of like a freak accident. One of my friends accidentally slid into my left leg, broke the tibia and fibula, and
That's
I,
gnarly.
I heard a snap. It was kind of funny because um, when it was during spring conditioning, so all the other sports teams were out on campus,
Yeah,
or not on campus, on the field on campus, and they were all conditioning with the football team.
yeah.
And when I heard a snap and I just sat down, I thought I tore a ligament, and I lifted my left leg up, and then from the mid shin down, just went like that, just flopped to the left,
No, thank you.
and yeah, no,
No,
thank you.
thank you.
And I was like, well, I broke my leg, and I was just looking around, and everyone was just screaming and just running in all different directions. It was kind of funny looking back at it now, but it wasn't funny then because I broke my leg.
No, thank you.
But anyways, yeah, during that, this happened before summer.
Yeah,
So I was able to finish some of my finals, and then during summer it was kind of sucked because I was stuck on the couch, resting and letting my leg heal. But during that time, it was more of like a contemplation moment because I had to think about my future and what I wanted to really do for the rest of my life, what I wanted to pursue. And I was thinking, do I want to go with football? I could still go with football technically, or do I want to get a head start and pursue business? Because I knew I always wanted to do something in business,
yeah,
whether it be marketing or management. I wasn't sure, but I knew I wanted to do that. So that summer, but I was, still contemplating and thinking about it. I uh, I was supposed to get a job that summer,
yeah.
um, but obviously that couldn't happen.
No,
So I decided to do the next best thing, and that was eBay. So what I did,
like flipping products.
yes.
Oh, for sure.
So this was like my first introduction to, like those wholesale websites from China.
Yeah.
from the, like,
Yeah, like drop shipping kind of, but
yeah,
not. Yeah.
exactly,
Okay. Cool.
exactly. But I didn't even know that's what it was called then. But pretty much, I bought like bracelets. I bought,
Oh my, dude,
you
you were
know,
like on ground zero of the whole drop shipping movement.
bro, yeah. And I didn't even know that was what it was. But I brought bracelets. I brought like wooden necklaces and things
Yeah.
like that. And then I just started selling them on eBay, just flipping them. I bought them for like $5, sold them for like $13, and I made like, 300 bucks that summer just sitting from my couch. I was like, all right, it's not bad. But the one thing during that time that kind of helped me see the power of video was my parents. They bought me like this little Canon point and shoot, like this really,
Yeah, the little one,
like,
like the
yeah,
snap
it
kind
was
of
like one
shot.
of the first ones. It
Like the
was
one of the first
inexpensive.
like digital cameras, or are you talking
Yeah,
about like a DSR?
not DSLR. It was digital, but the,
Yeah.
like the ones where the lens zooms out or like
Yeah.
comes out.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
those ones. It was like Canon Power Shot. That's what it was. And I was selling um, this one necklace. Those wooden necklaces. I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah.
They were kind of
Not
like
like the
thin.
puka shell necklace.
No, but it was like wooden and it had like different pendants and whatever. But anyways,
Cool. Yeah.
um, I was trying to sell one for like, $11, and then it wasn't selling for like a week. And then I dropped the price down, still wasn't selling. And I decided, well, why don't I put a video on the listing? Because at this time in eBay, technically there wasn't any video, like
Category. Like
like
like where
there
you could
wasn't
upload a
any.
video. Like you couldn't
Right, there
upload
was
it.
no place to technically upload a video, but
Yeah, it was only
you
photos.
you could. I was searching on the internet, and there was like a loophole that you could actually embed the video in the description somewhere.
Yeah.
So what I did was I shot like this whole like ad, like cool looking, like lifestyle type thing for that pendant,
Yeah.
and I bumped up the price to like 13, $14. Sold within a day.
It
And so,
literally just proves to you that with the right marketing, you could sell anything.
yes, yes. I have to see if I still have those videos, but that's when I thought to myself, there's something there with video. And so after that, I, fast forward, I came back to school, started doing more videos for clubs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And um, actually, back up a little bit. I came back after my leg healed, and that season, I still wanted to help the football team, and be part of that. So I asked Coach Thomas,
Yeah.
um, "Hey, can I shoot some highlight videos for the team for all the home games?" And he was like, "Sure,
It
go
was
for it."
unbelievable. It was like Division 1 video editing. Even better. I think it was better, but that's
Oh,
besides the
thanks,
point.
dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just started to shoot a video for every single home game. I shot a highlight video, and I mean, everyone liked them, and I enjoyed doing it. So I started to do it for all the other clubs on campus, and eventually the university hired me. The athletic department hired me to do all the highlight videos for majority of the teams on campus. So I did that, and that was the first time I kind of got paid to shoot videos technically.
So
Um,
during this process, when did you start upgrading your camera equipment?
in terms of camera equipment, the you can't see it behind me, but
Yeah.
in one of my shelves, I had it was a Panasonic G6, and
Okay.
it cost like $800. Um, I I put in a majority of the money at that time. My parents put in probably like $200 worth. It was like my birthday present,
Yeah.
and so with that, I just filmed with the kit lens. Kit lens meaning is the lens that comes with the camera, and majority of
Yeah.
the times, it's not the best of lenses, but you got to work with what you got.
Okay.
So that's what I film with. Then I upgraded the second year, for the second season, to a Panasonic GH4, and that was like my go-to camera. And
Okay.
that was what I was filming majority of the videos for while I was in college, and then after I graduated. But leading up to that, this is graduation day. I'm graduating. One of my friends told me, hey, there's a video internship position that's open for the Seattle Seahawks, and you should apply. So I was like, all right, sure. And this was when I was heading back down with my parents. We were driving back down from Washington to California,
Yeah.
and I was applying at the same time. So in the middle of the trip, I got an email. Hey, we would like to meet with you at our headquarters. When would be the best time? So a day later, we got back home, and I booked a trip back to Seattle.
Yeah.
And in between this time, one of the requirements was for me to learn, because I was used to editing with a certain, it was Final Cut, and I was used to editing videos on that platform,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But they required that I learn how to edit videos, that I need to edit videos using Premiere Pro because that's what they use, right?
Okay.
And I was like, all right, well, that's cool. And they also said that
Were you like freaking out? You're like, God dang it, I gotta renew this. I gotta figure out a whole new
yes,
software.
yes, because when I was there in the office, I needed to edit a highlight video under, I don't know, 45 minutes, 60 minutes with random clips that they give me. And I was like,
Whoa.
yeah. So what I did was, from between that time of booking the flight to the time I got to the headquarters, I purchased Premiere Pro, and then I just went over all the shortcuts, every single shortcuts. And I was just, in between then and on the flight, I was just, going through them on my computer, making sure I was just editing random clips, making sure I knew all the cuts and everything. And I got to the headquarters. It was great. Toured the facility, got to see all the players. They're bigger in person, which is interesting.
They are human freaks of nature. There are two people in one.
Huge, huge.
Two people in one.
And it was cool because I got to see practice for a little bit.
That's so
And I was
sick.
standing next to them and all that. And at the end of that, I had to edit that video. And I was pretty nervous, but they gave me random clips, and I knew I did pretty well. I finished in time, and the sequence made sense. And then that was it. So I flew back to California, and they said they would let me know if I would be the intern or not within a week. And then I got that call a week later, and they said, unfortunately, you weren't picked to be an intern. But
How'd that make you feel? Yeah, what was going on
but
with that?
here's the thing. Between that week period, I was thinking it was a conflict within myself, and I was thinking, what are the pros and cons of doing the internship, but also going my own route and starting my own video production business? Because that was something that was pulling at me very strongly during that time. And so that decision that they made was, it kind of solidified that decision for me. I was like, all right, they didn't pick me. Now I'm just
Let's
going to
do
go
it.
all in
Let's go.
on running my own video production business.
Wait, so how old were you?
I was 20, 21, 21.
21, about to be so you're about to be a junior or you're about to be a senior in
No, I was
college?
a senior.
Okay. Wow.
This
So
was
this
literally
is when
like a couple weeks after graduation.
a couple weeks, because yeah, you were a little bit younger. So a couple weeks after graduation, you tried for the Seahawks thing, Seattle thing, and then you're like, okay, this is make it or break it moment. You didn't have you weren't looking at any other jobs. You were all in on the Seattle deal, and then you're just like, screw it. They don't want me. Like, I'm going to do this on my own. I got full-fledged faith that if I put the
Yeah,
time and skills into this, like, I can really make something out of this.
right. And I was thinking about the pros and cons of it. Like, if I become an intern for the Seahawks, you got to think about what the end goal is, right? So if I go with them, great experience. With the Seahawks, great for the resume. But in reality, it's probably going to take few more years till I maybe get on full salary, maybe bump up to whatever position they have. On the other hand, if I run my own video production business, it's endless. It's endless.
it is
Like the
endless.
possibilities are
You're the
endless.
show. You're
No
the show.
cap. Yeah,
No,
there's
there's no
no
cap.
cap.
You're building Mike. You aren't building the Seahawks. And they're two
Right.
totally different. But there's this whole thing of security of the Seahawks and the brand and having a stable income, and like you're now an entrepreneur and you're a
Right.
business owner, and it's not just about the video production business. Like if you don't make it, like it's all on you,
Right.
and
Exactly.
so but you moved back home, you were living at home, right? And your
Yeah.
parents like helped you out a little bit, or was it just like,
Actually,
hey, no, you got to figure out how to pay rent, you got to figure out how to do all this stuff and go on. So yeah,
so
what was that like?
so let me backtrack just a tad
Yeah.
because I forgot to mention a key factor. Um, After I broke my leg, I when I was in college, I was part of the business leadership program, which was how would I say this? It's like an elective major, I guess
Yeah.
you can say, for business that they have at the
Hmm.
university. And part of that was to get an internship. You had to get an internship. Um, and this wasn't the Seahawks internship. And so I had to find an internship for my own for that summer for that credit in order to
Yeah.
graduate. And I was asking friends of friends. I went on LinkedIn in the early days of LinkedIn. I just reached out to people. Hey, I reached out to companies, reached out to people, asked for advice.
Yeah.
I really want to I wanted to focus on marketing and getting that internship. And I asked a friend of a friend because my mom showed me his name is Nathan Wynn,
Hmm.
and he himself is an entrepreneur, successful, running his own business. And he had a story, the Chicken Soup for the Soul books.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul.
Huh.
That was that
That
because
was him.
they have different
Yeah.
books like teenage Chicken Soup for the different souls.
Okay.
Um,
All right, for sure.
for the
Fun
teenage,
facts. Fun
yeah, for the
facts.
teenage soul, and his story was in it. And my mom was like, "Oh, why don't you, email him, ask him, because he lives in Orange County." And I said, "Okay, sure." I emailed him, asking him, would you be open for an internship? Gave him my spiel, and he emailed back 30 questions to answer before our first meeting.
What was
Yeah,
it? And it wasn't like, hey, what color is your hair? How tall are
no,
you? They were
no.
like,
It's like, what are your goals? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Straight to the point. I was like, all
do you
right.
still have that checklist? I kind of want that.
I do actually. I still save the email.
I gotta check that.
I still save the email. And so met with him, great guy. And at that point, he's already sold this business, but it was instrument retail, online retail business, e-commerce,
Yeah.
pretty much. So he was selling musical instruments online at that time. Back when Google ads were like few cents a click.
The dream,
So
the golden
yeah,
era, the golden era.
yeah, I know, right? But he was showing me the simple things on marketing on Google Ads, SEO, things like that.
Yeah.
And in that time, as I was doing that internship, I went on a family vacation, shot a video of that family vacation, showed him, and he was like, "Hey, you got some nice videos there. Why don't you do some product videos for my products?" And that's when I did more videos for him, built a relationship. He encouraged me to do more videos when I went back to college, because
Mhm.
this was during my junior year, the summer leading into my junior year,
Okay.
I believe. Um, and and so he became my mentor. He's still my mentor to this day and a good friend.
I,
So yeah,
dude, how does it feel? Because I mean, I have a mentor. I think having a mentor puts you on a fast track system because they
yes,
help educate you with their mistakes and their belief. And like, oh, well, if I was just starting over, if I was you in today's day and age, like this is what I would do based on everything I've seen. This is the trajectory of where I see the field's going. Do you think that was instrumental for you and your
100%.
success?
And the reason why is because I made it a point to build a relationship with him first and show him how I can add value to his business.
Yeah.
before I asked for anything.
So
And I
you,
know in the big yeah, and I
yeah.
know in the beginning I asked for, an internship because that's what I needed. But once I started working with him in his business and being an intern, I made sure to focus on how can I help you? How can I make your business better? I wasn't really looking for anything else, but just to learn.
No, you were trying to add value, and just like what you were getting out of it was just purely the experience and education side of things, and saying like, oh, this is how I could actually do this. Like this was the delayed gratification. Let me put in this work. I'll be your apprentice, and eventually, like maybe I can get paid, maybe not, or eventually I'll have the skill set learning from you to go off and do my own thing, and then really start building my brand and business.
Right. And eventually, over the course of those next 2 years, we built a relationship. I told him I want to pursue video production,
Yeah.
and we went to business together. And he provided that first investment for my camera and pieces of gear to get me started. And that was a big,
How
big.
much?
I mean,
Yeah. How
that's
much
paid
was
off
that?
now, but
Yeah, but how much was that? Because I know a lot of people, I don't know a lot about camera equipment. I don't think 99% of the public really knows it besides, oh, how much does an iPhone camera cost? Because it's $1,000 or whatever for an
right,
iPhone. So
right.
how much was that to you, or like the ballpark range,
Yeah,
starting
it
off?
was included the camera, the lighting, stabilization gear like gimbals and
Yeah.
tripods, around like 3,000.
That's a lot
Yeah,
for a young guy,
it is.
especially
It
like
is.
not
But when
knowing
it
like how
comes
you're going to how you're going to do this thing.
exactly, but when it comes to camera equipment, that's you have to invest in quality gear. You can't cut corners when it comes to camera equipment. And but I didn't just ask for the camera equipment. I did the work prior to show how I can shoot video with
Hmm.
just the camera I had. So showing that I can create good enough videos with the gear that I had, and him seeing that, he's I'm glad that he was able to see something in me that I was driven for this, and I really
Yeah.
wanted to do this. I had a passion for this, and I'm thankful that he provided that investment. And obviously, that's paid off. It was paid off early in the first couple months of
That's
me.
huge.
Yeah,
But I want to showcase you for a quick second because on Mike's Instagram platforms and a lot of other things that he does and posts online, he is so creative with how he has a couple tutorials just how to shoot films and edit films with your smartphone and just kind of stuff like that. So I think something that's always been pretty cool about you is you've taken the resources around you with what you have and you're like, I'm going to make the best out of this. And I'm going to be creative as possible to get through my editing, through my angles, through my timing, lighting, etc., and the people I got working with to make the best video as possible. So I just wanted to say that about you and how you're just a gung hustler and just who always tries to figure it out. It's almost like it's like a guerrilla marketing style in your own Mike Zuniga way. But you paid this guy off, and you're now starting to upgrade into camera equipment. When was it that it was post Seattle Seahawks internship that you really went off on your own, and you were still working with this guy while you were trying to do that internship? And like how
yeah,
did that kind of relationship evolve? He's your mentor today, but you guys split. You guys like you split on your projects, or are you still working together on projects, but you split up the fees? Like, kind of, can you evolve on that relationship?
yeah. So I was majority owner of the business. He just helped with the first upfront investment,
Hmm.
and so over the time, we just built a friendship. I filmed his wedding, and we started doing more videos together. But he was running his own business and doing his own thing, and I was focusing on my thing, and it worked, because I just went. I would go back to him and ask him, for advice on business and things like that, and
Yeah.
call him whenever. And to this day, we're planning on working on future projects and things like that. But during that time, and I know I backtracked a little bit, but that was an
You're
important
good.
key piece.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So after I graduated, and after the Seahawks thing, now I'm back in Southern California. All right, I'm 21 years old, thinking about, all right, how can I get started? What's the first thing I can film to make a name for myself? I first started shooting a few weddings, just simple weddings, just to get my feet wet. I got into contact with a photographer. He let me uh, go on with him, and just for a small fee. The couple didn't have a huge budget, but they let me in because I just wanted to get some experience. And I filmed their wedding. And one of the things I learned, because I was so used to filming highlight videos,
Oh
um,
gosh.
the audio, the audio, was not recording audio. I was just
You're just
filming the
going straight
highlight.
out of the camera. No shotgun
Yeah,
mic or
yeah,
anything.
yeah, and that was a big mistake. But the highlight looked great. So,
That was great. The writing on it, oh, it was great. It was so wonderful. But
but I learned a lot from that.
so I got a question. Did you have to did you get paid to do that wedding?
I did.
But did
It
you
was,
give a refund or something because you didn't do the video right? Or it's like, I'm sorry, I'm here to go. Or
they're like, it's fine, because they
oh,
knew
okay.
that I was just getting started, and
That's
I,
cool.
I made a mistake. But I learned from that, for the later wedding videos I would do in the next couple of years. But the one thing that I really knew I wanted to get in to start
Yeah.
was finding a good base, a good community that I
Foundation.
can get my name out to. And that was my alma mater, Servite.
Yeah.
So I did, I thought to myself, why don't I just do the same thing I did when I was at university with the football team?
Yeah.
So I reached out because I played football at Servite. I reached out to them, and to the coach and the athletic department at that time, and I asked, hey, why don't I'll do a highlight video for every single game for that season for free, nothing. All I ask is just if I can put my name at the end of every single highlight video. And they're like, sure, go for it. So I did that. The video started gaining traction within the community. Within a month, the admissions department asked me to make admissions videos for the school, which I
Yeah.
did. Other business owners within the Servite community asked me to create promotional videos for their business.
Okay.
And I just started expanding my list. And then other schools within that community, like other private Catholic high schools within that community, started reaching out to me, and I started doing admissions videos for them. So I just started building my network from there. And I just used the same steps I took when I was filming highlight videos for the football team at the university, and did it for my alma mater.
So and then all this time you had your Mike Zuniga Films website. So you're building your portfolio, and I feel like for somebody and I call you an artist at the end of the day because I think
Well,
you are
thanks.
in a way. I mean, I don't know how else
I
to.
consider myself an
I think
artist
you're an
for
artist.
sure.
I do think. I don't know why a videographer would not be an artist. I mean, you call a filmmaker an artist, like for movies, you're the exact same thing, just in a different way on a different world.
Uh,
Um, but you were using this to build your portfolio, but you were operating on a purely word of mouth basis. There was no
100%.
social media ads run. There was no like Google ads run, no marketing, no envelopes, no cold calling and stuff like
No,
that. It was purely word of mouth. So
purely word of mouth.
so let me just say this: your video skills had to be amazing because the only way people get up from word of mouth is just you're amazing at what you do. I don't know how else to say that.
Well, I was thankful that, honestly, even to this day, majority, like 80% is word of mouth. Like no marketing,
Wow. And
because
but that keeps you busy enough? Like, do you
it
want
does
to do
keep me
more?
busy.
Yeah.
Yes, and we'll get to that, and like
Yeah.
how I'm shifting, and
Yeah.
how kind of this whole situation that we're in with COVID and everything kind of helped that
Yeah.
shift. But yeah, so I was doing that. I was just strengthening my base, and but at the same time, I was reaching out to, I was prospecting, reaching out to other schools, reaching out to other companies within that community, and asking, if they would need promotional videos filmed for their business. And majority said yes.
So
And so,
when you did this like when you did this prospecting, was it a clear cut template that you just be like copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, or was it, hey, let me make this personable and go time like client to client and prospecting and really think about what's going to get them to open this email and respond to me, or you're just
yeah,
bombarding or quality? Yeah,
it was more so since I was dealing with schools, mostly in businesses, I was more personalized,
yeah,
um, because I knew that if I was able to get in with each school, it's a long term play because I knew they would need more videos in the future, which they did.
yeah.
And so I just made it more personalized because it would attract their attention
Hmm.
easily. First name
And then
basis, things
I
like
gotta
that.
ask this: when did you start? You were always charging money for these videos. After Servite, it was I'm charging money, or was
Yes.
you were still doing? Okay, so you were. So
Yeah.
how did you justify your price when you
Okay. This
go
is a
into these things?
great question.
This is
This is a
amazing
great question.
questions,
So
and
how
I
I
know we'll touch back on it later, but right now, how are you justifying your price?
right now, how am I
No, no,
justifying my
not right
price?
now. I mean, like when
Okay.
you were doing the
Then,
schools and just starting out. Yeah,
so how that's interesting, and that's one of the challenges that a lot of like artists or creatives or whoever else
100%, man.
set their price. And when I first was doing weddings, or let me backtrack. I knew in my mind before I started my business that I wanted to be premium high quality, no matter what. I
Hmm.
didn't want to be low quality. I didn't want to be mid tier. I want to be high quality. And
Yeah,
how I kind of set that up was looking at weddings because when I first started out, I was doing weddings. Um, and this was after I learned from those mistakes later on, and started making my wedding videos better.
yeah,
Um, and I looked at the quality of other weddings based on the tiers and the pricing because you can just search on Google, and just look on
yeah.
other
You're just
websites
doing your
or whatever.
market research and see who
Yeah,
your competitors were. Yeah, we're going.
and I could see what the majority of weddings. I first started out. I didn't want to start out at bottom. I was like, all right, I can do well in like the mid tier to high quality. I want to start out there, so I'm closer.
Yeah,
And it was around the $1,500 range. And even for weddings, that's still pretty low. But starting out, I knew that I can consistently get those weddings at that price.
okay.
And from there, I kind of based that price on like promotional videos, on the pricing of promotional videos. I just put together how much work needs to be put in during that day and how much work needs to be put in on editing because editing is a majority of the work when it comes to making videos.
Yeah,
So that was the base price when I first started out. Some projects, if it doesn't require that much, I would go a little bit low. But then I made sure to stick to 1500 as the base price. I wouldn't go low to that unless there's,
yeah. You
you
just
know,
say like it
yeah,
had to be some sort of real reason. But go on.
right, exactly. And so that was my price. And every year I would raise it. So, but then, I would raise it, but for like, let's say the ones that started out with me, the clients that started out with
No,
me earlier
it's
on, then
yeah.
I would give them some, leeway,
Incentive, like
incentive, leeway.
little. You've been with me from the beginning. Let's do a
Yes,
deal type of thing. I think every
exactly.
successful guy definitely has that going on.
Yes. And so, but every year I made it a point to raise my prices,
By like
no
a
matter what.
percentage amount or a dollar amount.
Um,
Like you start at 1,500.
so I started from 1,500, then I went to 2,000.
Okay, so $500 increase and
$500
third.
increase.
That's a
So majority,
33% increase on your
yeah.
price.
So majority is 2,000.
Now what are you at?
So now majority is 2,000
Yeah,
and then higher. So what I'm working on now is more so instead of per project basis, sometimes there's, you know, clients asking just for one video.
yeah, like a wedding.
But yeah, I've kind of strayed away from weddings now.
Yeah,
I'm more focused on working with
companies.
businesses.
Yeah,
Yes,
companies that give you a
yes,
reoccurring revenue stream.
yeah. I'll
Okay,
maybe do a wedding
really
for
got
a
to be a
friend.
case by case basis.
Yeah,
Yeah, just got to be a
yeah, but
friend.
it's rare. I don't want to do. I'm not saying I don't want to do weddings. I'm just saying
It
I
takes a
enjoy.
lot for you to do it.
Yes, I'm just saying I enjoy because this is also another case. doing what doing the videos that you like to do, and then doing videos that you still enjoy, but it's not like your main thing that you are passionate about in terms of making videos. Like I
Yeah.
enjoy
It pays the bills.
making. Right, exactly, but it still aligns with what I am passionate about.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that a lot of artists or creators or filmmakers, they get pulled in either direction, because one, you're still doing something that aligns with you. Maybe it's not what you're super passionate about, but obviously it pays the bills, but you still get joy out of it. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, you still get joy out of it. Me personally, after doing all those things, I think weddings was a great way for me, and if I recommend this for all videographers to get into, because it really puts you in the trenches. You got to think quick, because things are changing. You have to learn how to communicate with people, because trust me, there's been weddings where the bride and groom are awesome. The people that you're working with are awesome, and then other times on wedding day, just the
It's a
pressure of wedding
nightmare.
the what pressure of wedding day gets to people sometimes. And it happens, but you have to always have that positive um, mindset when you're communicating with them. You can't get frustrated. You always have to think about, okay, you know this doesn't work. We have to move on to the next thing. Other you know other groups within that wedding day are pulling the bride and groom every which way. Obviously it's easy to get frustrated,
Hmm.
but you have to say, all right, you have to be precise on your decision, because there's people asking you, what should I do here, what should I do here. um, you just have to stick to the decision and go 100% with it, you know whether it's the best decision or not.
No,
Because
you got to react
yeah,
quick. No,
exactly.
you have to be proactive and also react just to depending on what's going on
Yeah,
and the evolution of the whole day. I mean that's a full day of filming too,
it's a
right?
full day of filming, and over time, I was a one-man band for first year, and then I brought in an assistant, and then now I have, if we're a wedding, I would bring two assistants with me, so I would have a team.
Hmm.
And it's on me to be the leader and communicate with my team, communicate with the bride and groom, and say, hey, this is your role in terms of the shots that you're going to get, and these are the shots that you're going to get. All right.
Yeah.
And over that time, I built that team because, and this is on the topic of a team, um, I built that team from making relationships from other shoots.
Okay.
So on other shoots that I did in the past years, I just talked to these guys because they were also filmers on that shoot, and they were along the same lines of what I was doing. They were running their own business. They were freelancers,
Hmm.
and they were doing videography. But I
Like
liked,
you or like on a different level? Like okay, so like exactly kind of
yeah,
your business
around the
model.
same lines of what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I liked their quality. I liked working with them. And people ask, like, how did you build your team? How do you find these
Yeah, I'm very
videographers? How do you find
curious.
these editors? It was really organic, honestly. It
Yeah.
was just putting myself out there.
Yeah, but I got when was the moment where you're like, oh, like I need to hire somebody?
Yeah, this is great. So first, I was a freelancer. You can say I'm a hybrid right now,
Yeah.
freelancer for some projects,
Yeah, we'll get
other projects, definitely a team. Um, but how I built those was, first, I brought in friends of friends or
uh-huh.
friends of mine and say, hey, can you hold this camera and, help shoot videos for me?
Just
And
pro
they,
bono. Like I'll give you a beer. Okay, I'll take you out to lunch.
yeah, and then I paid them. And then over time, as my clientele, um, you know,
Hit
got
that
more
upscale
higher, yeah,
threshold.
more
Yeah.
upscale threshold, the videos I knew had to be professional. I can't cut corners on this.
No.
Um, for other projects that I was in, I met these filmmakers videographers. I saw their work. I enjoyed just talking to them, and I just said, "Hey, I have these projects. Can you help out, being the second camera or whatever else?" Or and they were like, "Yes." And I paid them what I made sure to do because I knew the quality of their work, and I knew I
Mhm.
wanted to keep working with them, and I valued their time. um, I paid them what they asked for. In the beginning, we had negotiated a little bit based on the budget of the client, but then now I just pay them what their price is because I respect that, and I pay them quickly, after the project, and because
Immediately. Like you
immediately,
just have
because
that thing. That's a
yes,
good.
because
That's a big thing in a lot of people's world. Is when do I get paid? Especially in I feel like a freelance artist world is sometimes like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. You're like, I'm not getting paid. And
right,
what the heck, man?
and because I have gone through certain situations where I would do the work and then have to wait for the payment. But I really appreciate it, if I'm paid, within 24 hours or things like that. And I wanted to do the same thing for them and keep that relationship because I knew that when projects came when I needed them most, hopefully I would be on the top of their list, because they knew that we had that great relationship.
100%.
So I wanted to treat them well. But yeah, that's in terms of building that physical team with me. Also translated when I was building my team of editors. So editing is the bulk of a lot of video projects.
Hmm.
So when I started building up my editing team, um, it was the same thing. Like I reached out, like Upwork, for example, is a good platform to find freelancers and things like that, like quality freelancers. So I
Hmm.
went on Upwork and I had like a set video project that I had with me that I would just send to them just to see their style and how they would edit it. And I would pay them, a certain fee just to test run. And eventually I found the ones that worked well with me, that communicated well. And when I have a certain project, I would send them a tutorial, like how I would edit it. Let's say if it's for an interview.
Wait, like so,
Majority,
like what do you mean by tutorial? Like you made a tutorial video of Mike
yes.
Zuniga. This is how I'm editing video for X
Yeah,
market or for
step
product or
one.
whatever.
This is my style of editing this.
Wow, so
You
you
know?
really invested time. You're really
Yes,
thinking long term. Like I want there to be no learning curve, no excuses. I'm going to
exactly.
clearly communicate this. Well, that's remarkable. There you go.
Because I tried to do it over email and it was hard to relay any information through email. It had to be visual. And so I would just record my screen editing a project and say, hey, this is how you edit it. Make this cut here, make this cut here, clean cut. All right. So when it comes to say, let's say editing an interview, um, majority of the work is piecing the storyline together and just making those cuts from the raw footage, things like that.
Yeah.
My expertise and what I like to do is just add the finishing touches,
The Mike
the
Zuniga touch.
the
The Mike
sprinkles,
Zuniga touch.
the sprinkles on the
This
cake.
is this is my product. This is my
So
product. I like it.
I gave a tutorial to the editors. Obviously they were free to put their own artistic um, ideas when it comes to putting the storyline together or whatever else and piecing the main bones, the structure of the video together.
Uh,
And over time they got better at it, and it freed up my time in that sense. It freed up a little bit more time because I wasn't at that stage yet where I could send them the full video and have them edit it fully.
okay.
But I just took it piece by piece. I was like, all right, if I can just send them over this part, it would free me more time to start prospecting other clients for more business. And then once they're finished with that, then I can add the extra pieces to it or have the final say, whatever else.
And so you
That
paid them on a per project basis, or you paid them like,
per
all right,
project.
okay. So, and it like, is this the same thing where they're asking for their price and you're like, here you go? Or is it like, no, I'm going to pay you $50 for this and I'm bidding it out to 2 or 3 guys? Or do you always have a guy that was your top choice, and if he passed, you went to your second choice?
Yeah, usually it's I negotiate with them a little bit in the beginning,
Hmm.
and if they say, "Hey, my price is this," I respect it. You
Yeah.
know, because they at that point they already have built their um, portfolio, their value. I already see what they can do,
Hmm.
so I respect that. Um, but yeah, in the beginning, I negotiate. You have to.
Always.
Yeah,
You always
always,
gotta negotiate.
always.
Come on.
Yeah, of course. That's
How
that's
do you
that's
make
business,
money
man.
without getting
That's
deals?
business, man.
It's business, baby. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
But so you kind of built this team, and like, do you have full time guys with you, or is it really just you're still reaching out to third party freelancer guys?
Now I have a set team
Hmm.
where I don't really have to look for new editors or filmers.
Are they underneath like your payroll? Like you're always
No,
feeding them
no,
projects?
no.
Okay, so
They're
they're still
subcontractors.
operating. Okay,
Yeah,
so they're operating as independent contractors.
yeah.
And then how do you like walk me through like a probably like a bigger project like that you do, not a real estate video necessarily, but maybe something for like a brand where you got two, three, five people running it down. Like how do you orchestrate all that? And are you always the point guy, or are you guys like, hey guys, like let's collaborate together and figure out how to do this thing?
Okay. So yeah, I want to get into real estate too because real estate. I like real estate
Yeah,
when it comes
we'll
to
get there.
making videos and real estate
Yeah.
because that's how I kind of started. That was real estate was my first out of state like video project. Like I'm traveling. Like I
You're
got paid to
traveling.
travel. I got paid to
Did,
travel to film real estate in
so, but you
Arizona.
got like you got paid like your plane ticket and everything, like, or you just like booked it and you paid for it in the bid and
Yes,
whatever, and
that
it's
was
like,
that was that was that was the first like actually paid for travel gig
okay, well
that I
then let's
had.
run with this then. So you
Sure,
paid
sure.
for, so you paid for your first paid travel gig, which I feel like is huge for any artist. It's like, no, I'm getting paid
I
to leave the
have
state. I
if
was
you
like,
go
oh
to
my
my
god.
YouTube channel, yes, and if you go,
I was like, oh my
this
god,
is
I'm getting paid to leave the state. This is unbelievable.
yeah, it was great. This was like back in 2016, and this was like literally a year after I graduated. And it was through Alex,
Yeah.
Lunt. Yeah, it was through him, and because he had connections in Arizona,
Uh huh.
and so he was able to get some video shot
A
for real
luxury real
estate.
estate property. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
this is a gorgeous property,
yeah. Thanks.
and wasn't like 15. It was like it was a pretty big.
It was big. Actually, what it was um so his friend was Nate, and he was the agent, and cool guy, and thank you to him that he took a chance with me and was brought me out to film real estate videos for multiple. It was probably like 4 listings, which made sense. Brought me
Mhm.
out, filmed, and it was great. The vlog behind the scenes is on my YouTube channel of that, but like my eyes were like wide open. I was like, wow, I'm going through these luxury homes filming, and I'm out in Arizona, and this is great.
You took it all
And
in. You didn't just
I
like
took
run
it all
through
in.
it. You're
Took
just
it all in.
like,
I saw the
we're making
possibilities.
it. You're like,
Yeah, I
we're
saw the
making it. Like we can
possibilities.
do this.
Yes.
So how did
And
you? And this is your first one. So did he work with you on the price, or did he respect it?
at that time, I was still getting started, but
Yeah.
the quality was there. So the price was lower, but he paid for the plane ticket, and that's all I needed. Because at this point, I needed to build my portfolio. And this is
Okay.
the one thing,
It
yeah,
was
this is
like
the
it was
one,
like marketing money to you. Like I'm going to
yes,
take a discount on my fee because I would have to spend it on marketing or doing other stuff. Like this is going to be very valuable to my portfolio. So let's try and figure something out.
yes.
So okay.
And this is what I talk to a lot of, young videographers ask me questions like this, and artists ask me questions. How should you set up your price? Should you work for free and things like that? And what I always tell them is, what is more valuable to you at that moment? If you're starting out, you have no portfolio to show, and you ask someone, hey, I'm going to do a video for you. Can you pay me? they have
Why?
nothing to they yeah
Why?
they have nothing to base the value on yet.
Yeah.
So my whole focus was to build that portfolio. So I built that portfolio with the videos for the football team. So that
Yeah.
was sports. I could do sports highlights. I
Yeah.
built a portfolio for weddings. I made them look better. Boom, there you go. I built a portfolio for promo videos for businesses. And
Uh-huh.
then I built a portfolio for real estate.
Okay.
So
And quick,
that way,
yeah.
yeah.
Quick thing on the portfolio building. Do you have every single video up on your website, or have you taken off your older videos? Do you like to show the progression of like how you've improved in the quality now from where you started? Or is it just like, no, screw the old stuff. Like I'm only keeping my primo stuff.
Yeah,
Curious
the
about
most up to date ones stay on
that.
my
Okay.
website,
Got it.
because it makes more sense. But on my YouTube channel, I keep a couple, you know, to look back on, still up there, of course.
Do you ever
Like
take videos off your YouTube?
rarely,
Okay.
rarely, rarely.
Yeah.
I think the Puget Sound ones from college are still up there.
Good. I
Yeah,
love
they
those
should be.
ones. Great
Yeah, they
party
should.
ones. Anybody
Yeah,
need a party
I
trailer?
look back
Go to
at
Mike
them every
Zuniga.
now and then just to remind myself, you know.
Yeah, it's a whole experience.
Yeah,
But go
yeah,
on. But with the real estate thing, so now you have this
yeah,
real estate portfolio, and you're trying to build this real estate portfolio, and
yeah.
for young kids,
So
trying to build
I'm
portfolio.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm doing that. Started to shoot those videos, and from then I started to get more people asking me to do videos for their listings um, from the Washington area
Okay.
because thanks to Alex, he was a good contact because he was living up in Seattle still at that time, um, and he got into contact with a couple real estate agents, and we were able to do some business there. Gave him a cut, of course, and we went up there and shot those videos.
I love
Opened
it.
my mind up even more. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. I'm in this home looking at the Puget Sound on a sunny day, filming a house, and I love this. It's great. So yeah, those opportunities really opened up my mind earlier on to kind of show that I'm on track of what I'm doing, because there's times when I was running my business and I would ask myself, is this worth it? Am I on the right track?
Yeah.
And
You're just like, can I
you know
really do this? Is like this gonna?
yeah,
Can I build a life out of this?
yeah. And
Everybody
over
has those
time,
doubts. Yeah.
exactly. And I'm asking myself, is this normal? But I knew that entrepreneurs, they always have
It's
that.
very up and down. It's
It's
very
up
up
and
and
down.
down.
It's a
And
roller
it's like
coaster.
it's really riding the momentum train and not letting yourself dive too fall when you fall off the tracks
Yes,
and keeping
exactly.
ahead instead. So I
Yeah,
agree with that.
exactly. So, but I just kept it just little wins. That's all it is. It's just little wins, one at a
Consistent.
time.
Yeah.
Consistency. That's the key. And I just made sure, no matter what problem or setback I went through, I made sure to keep looking at my goal, what my goal was at that moment, just to reach that goal, and then reach the next goal, and then reach the next goal. And that was my mindset during that period of time when I was building. you
Okay.
know and I wasn't sure where I really wanted to go to at that time until I found that, all right, I like working with businesses. I like shooting mostly commercials, advertisements. That's what kind of led to, over time, from what I was filming to now, I enjoy filming videos for ad campaigns, videos for advertisements, videos for businesses, and for real estate.
Hmm.
And I guess now I can segue into where I'm at now. Um, over the past couple of years, I've always liked working with marketers, and I have been able to work with marketers for the past couple of years, shooting their ads, shooting their videos, things like that. And I would just
Like digital marketing
digital
campaigns.
marketers,
Yes, like where they
yeah,
come in and they're saying like, "Hey, we're going to run Facebook ads for you. We'll help you create the content, give you a full service digital marketing company." And so
yes,
you liked where, and they'd hire you as a independent contractor to do their videos. And they charge you like,
yeah,
"Hey, Mike, you got $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 or whatever to do this project. We need these different things, these different types of edits to showcase on these various platforms," that type of deal.
right, exactly,
Okay.
yeah. So some I would be paid on a monthly retainer.
And
Others would be per
and how
project
did those people find you?
network, man. Like from
Like going to conventions, like going to trade shows, cold calling, like social
no,
media messaging, like what do you mean by
um,
that?
it all stemmed from the base that I built through when I went back to Servite earlier on. Um,
Really?
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
it all stemmed from that. Just from friends of friends, friends that work with other business people,
And
and
then like you gotta check this guy out. Like you gotta check
yeah,
out what he
they
does.
would show the videos I made, and I built a relationship with them. I showed them what I could do. Same thing how I treated the relationship with my mentor. And these digital marketers that I have worked with, some of them have become like a great mentor for me. And so as I was doing those videos, I got into the mindset. I think this was like 2 years ago in 2018 when I started working with these digital marketers. And I would just, you know, learn little by little because digital marketing is it's such like a, I wouldn't say underground thing, but not a lot of people know about digital marketing even to this day, which is really interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
And like, if you're in the space, I feel like you're like, oh my
If
gosh, there's
you're
so
in the
many of us.
space, you know.
Yeah.
But for those that are not in it, you know, you'd be surprised. Like a lot of businesses still use like just pamphlets, brochures, things like that, old school type stuff. Um, but
Don't know the
but
game.
but everything is shifting digitally, and we can see that with this whole situation that we were in with COVID and everything like that. And so I've been working with them, learning from them, and I decided, all right, I need to make a shift. Not a big shift, but just like a little shift with the business, um, by adding by adding the marketing aspect behind my videos. And while I can create video content for businesses right now here and there, per project basis, I really wanted to create something that's consistent, on a monthly basis, right? So that's why I wanted to add the marketing aspect behind the videos,
Okay.
because what I would do in the past is create videos for clients. Some clients knew what to do with them, but a good amount of clients would just put the video on their website. They would, you know,
They would
uh,
incorporate into any email marketing
exactly
campaigns, social
nothing.
media, blast it everywhere, and
Right.
then that was it.
There's nothing backing those videos, right? And
Hmm.
so that's why I think a lot of businesses get frustrated. They would ask for a video to get done. They don't see any leads coming in. They don't see any sales coming in, because of that video, because it's not there's not no solid strategy behind that video when it comes to marketing.
No, I think
So
you have to
yeah,
really understand what you're going to do with the video before you create it. Is like, I mean, for some of our businesses, like I got an intro video with a girl I paid, and then I got like my dog as a puppy she was holding the video and she says like, hi, I'm with Silver State Private Capital and we want to buy your house. And like I hired it all out because I wanted the nice attractive women for people like on soft ice, and I wanted the dog for the cute and cuddliness in one of our houses that we bought and flipped in our kitchen. And so, but then you drip that out, you keep it on the front page, you do retargeting with it. And I knew that going into it. Like, what was I going to do that video for? I think a lot of other people, and I really want you to test on this now that you're making this shift from just being a videographer into the digital marketing space, and that combination being a full service marketing company, which I think is a tremendous idea, with the vertical integration, synergy, and everything else, is when a client comes to you, because I used to struggle with this, is like, okay, we're going to make this video, but then we're also going to have to spend $5,000 on advertising a month. And they're kind of like, what do you mean? Like, I just paid you 5 to 10 grand to do this video, or a grand to do this video. Like, what do you mean I have to run ads on top of paying you a consulting fee on a per monthly basis? And do you basically, when you work with these people now and you're trying to build this business, like, hey, this is the expectation. If you can't commit 5 grand a month to this, or 2 grand a month to this, like, I can't work with you. I'm not going to waste my time. Or are you like, all right, let's see what happens? Like, can you kind of I'd love your
Sure.
perspective on that.
Yeah, because I think the one thing is, how do you justify that price
Yeah.
when it comes to that? Because majority comes down to ad spend, and um, and then some of it is management of the campaign, and also setting up the campaign too. So that all comes down to how you communicate that to the client, and you have to shift their mindset from the video is going to make you the leads, and instead of that, shifting it over to how the marketing process will get a prospect that maybe doesn't know anything about you to them buying your product. you know
Y-
so that was the one thing I kind of had to work on
Yeah.
earlier, but once I did, I was able to close clients,
Do you have
through
case
sales calls.
studies? Do you have case studies on your website? Like, have your portfolio of videos? Do you have like case studies of, I've worked with brand X and I took them from this many in sales to this via that?
So I'm just getting started
Yeah.
with this.
Hmm.
So I have my first few clients right now, and
Nice. Congratulations.
we're just starting the campaign right now. We shot the videos. Actually, shot one of the videos today,
Congratulations.
and it
Nice. I
went
like it.
well. Thank you.
Good.
And I already have um, the funnel set. I just have to finish the videos and put them in. But other than that, yeah, it was a learning experience, because for the past year, it was just teaching myself marketing on top of what I was already learning with the digital marketers that I was working with, and how to specifically integrate that with video. Because you can run ads with photos and things like that, but I knew my strong suit is video,
Hmm.
and especially with placing video on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, it's powerful. I don't know what the
Huge.
statistic is, but majority of people watch videos.
No,
um,
it's way better. Videos trend way higher with Facebook ad campaigns than stationary photos, especially stock photos. Like, even if you just made a stock video edit, it's gonna be trend and be watched way further than just some stinking video. It's gonna get more
yeah,
clicks, more eyes, and because it's interactive almost
it
to a certain
is.
extent.
It is. So I had to teach myself how to write copy, how to set up funnels, how to do automation campaign for the campaign, for the email, and things like that. And then lastly, how to prospect for these clients, and how to do a sales call with them. So I went through maybe like 5 sales calls so far, or not
Like,
5,
like, what
maybe
do you
6.
mean? Like, they're like through their sales process, or like you're
No, to
trying to
get
close
them
them?
as a client for
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I probably went through 8 sales calls so far. 5 just flopped. But it was great because I was so out of my comfort zone doing those sales calls, because I was, for the past couple of years, I was so used to the clients coming to me because of word
Instead
of
of
mouth
going to them and showing your
instead of going
value.
to them. Um, but what I did was, I just started out with, instead of going straight cold, I went and reached back to clients that I worked with before, but are not currently
Okay.
working with right now.
Yeah, so it's a warm lead, not hot, but
Yeah,
it's warm.
It's still warm. Um, and that's what helped me to get the clients I'm working with now,
Yeah.
because they already know me. They know how I worked with them, and they know the quality of my videos. I'm just providing them another value add. You
Yeah.
know, so with the marketing aspect, just me communicating that with them, and how that can really improve their business, especially now that some businesses are hurting. This is a great time to start reaching back to businesses right now. This is a great,
100%.
great
Dude,
time.
I mean, a lot of tremendous companies are built in recessions. I mean, Uber,
I
Facebook,
agree.
Airbnb, a lot of these places, when even you, you're going to see this transformational shift. Coronavirus has caused you to shift your business model. And I think long term, this is only going to be tremendous for you. And there's a huge potential upside to you, and just building a media company, not just a videography or videographic and photography company. Um, but where do you, I guess, what do you think, like on a conversion basis, like you're just reaching back out to these guys on a warm lead basis, but where are you trying to go with it, I suppose? Like, are you trying
So
to like, are you eventually going to start running ads for
yeah.
it? Okay. You're going to start running ads and creating
For
your own
that.
phone.
So what I'm
Yeah.
going to do is first I'm going to reach back just organically, no paid ads yet
Okay.
until I have um, because the hardest part when that I dealt with when I was speaking to these past clients was not having um, what's the word like the data to show for ad campaign,
Oh, dude, that's
right?
huge.
Right.
No,
But
no. Yeah.
right, that's a big thing. But I knew that I could do it because I've helped some of these digital marketers before. I've sat with them, apprenticed with them, and I saw how they were able to do theirs. And I knew I was able to do it. It's just I couldn't show it because I didn't have one under my belt yet. Luckily, I was able to get a few. And now my whole goal is to make sure to do those right, make sure, they're successful. And then once I have that data to show, I'll start running paid ads for it. But right now it's starting to, I'm just,
So is this,
um,
so are you operating in a reduced rate right now, like how you were with the real estate kind of video when you first went out to Arizona? Are you like, hey, like you're still showcasing your value, but you're like, hey, you're like one of my original clients. I'm building up my case studies. You're going to help me build up my case study, my portfolio for this full synergized product type. I'll give
yes,
you kind of some leeway, but then once you
exactly.
have like 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever that number is to you, you're gonna be like, no, this is my price. And and for
Yes.
this, it's very case by case basis. I totally understand.
Yes, because these were past clients, so they worked with me before.
There
So I
you
gave
go.
them some.
It goes back to
I
that.
gave yes. So I gave them some incentive to help me out with this, and obviously I'm going to help them out to obviously better their business with ad campaign. Um, so that was the whole goal there, and the right now just to I want to say like save money, but it is also saving money, but being smart with it, reaching back to the warm leads that I already have from previous clients,
Easy. Why
work
not?
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? Work them and see if I can get businesses with them. But the thing is, I already made enough videos from previous businesses in the area
Yeah.
that I place. And what I did was I actually I sent them out personalized videos. So I just recorded myself. Hey, so and so, hope all is well. And you can see I'm in my office right now. I just want to share with you a couple things. Blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. I emailed that to every single person,
What do you
and I
use,
got
like via YouTube link or via like a bomb type of software? Or do you just like
like
make a video on your phone and link it?
literally like through like Wistia or something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Sent that link through email, and I could see who watched and who didn't. For the ones that opened it,
That's key, dude. That's super.
I
And
emailed them again.
you just get on them. You're like, you
So
open this
it was
5 times,
yeah,
I'm on you like white on rice. Like, let's go.
exactly, and it was kind of like a self-automated
Why not?
follow up in a way, but yeah, it
But it's
worked.
okay. So I want to make this clear. Self-automated follow-up has its pros and cons. Scalability sucks. But
Yes.
in regards to what we talked about, quality over quantity and you trending to your or pursuing your upscale kind of clientele, being personable goes the furthest. And it takes a lot of time, but your conversion rate, I guarantee you, will always be higher than outsourcing, unless you have a rock star sales and closing team.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, when Mike Zuniga of Mike Zuniga Films is speaking to me, or Mike Zuniga Media, however you're going to evolve this company, is speaking to me and trying to close me, like, wow, he really values me as a client. And that will kind of separate as you grow, obviously. Um, but I just think that the way you convert is huge, and the way you track and follow up is huge. And I'm dealing with the same things right now in my follow up system and trying to put in systems to scale. And I have a very just an uncomfortable feeling where I'm like, you can't do what I do. Like, no, like you aren't good with people. Like I like before I ever go into a sale, just something
Like
about
you
me.
speaking to yourself.
Yeah, no, like not like speaking to myself, but like I'm speaking to a potential like motivated seller through our house flipping business or
Uh,
somebody else like that. or motivated buyer. And before I ever go in for a contract sign, I learned this in through like my various mentors, classes, whatever. Before I ever go in for something, I have to make them laugh or I make them cry. And like with the ones that I've noticed, my highest conversions are the ones where I make them cry. I don't like belittle them. I don't belittle them. I want to make this very
What do
clear.
you do? What do you do to them?
No, dude, I share like very heart sincering stories.
Oh my goodness.
And like I'm just like I'm very emotional and passionate. I'm vulnerable.
Yeah, you have to be.
Vulnerability is one of the most underrated human characteristics out there. But people forget with social media, digital marketing, everything because we're behind these screens is we're all still human, guys. Like
Yeah.
you'll watch a rom-com or some sad puppy dog video commercial telling you to adopt a dog and they'll feel for you. So how do I feel for that person? How do I build that intimate connection for them to then trust me more and believe in me? Because you aren't selling your media company. You aren't selling your videographer skills. In my opinion, at least, you aren't selling your videographer skills or your marketing stuff. You're selling Mike Zuniga. You're selling
Mhm.
you and saying
Yeah.
like, trust me to do this job properly and to my highest capabilities. And I think the way you're going about it with what it seems like based on you doing copywriting, the videos, the managing and the marketing and the setup of the marketing campaigns, it's a concierge service.
Mhm.
And I think that's just what, for me, like because I know a little bit about this world, I pick each individual kind of subcontract. Like I got a Facebook guy, I got an Instagram guy, I got a PPC guy, I got an SEO guy, and I got like my own website backend funnel systems guy that I pay him. But like that's how I do it. And then
Yeah.
eventually like I'll kind of do my own thing. But is this evolution for you? You'll scale up, but is it to turn it into a media company?
You know, that's interesting. I just been thinking about that. Is to turn it for right now. The goal is into a video marketing company,
Okay.
a full video marketing company,
Yeah.
um, and so that's why right now my goal is to build the clientele.
Mhm.
Um, first to get to 5 that I can work with exclusively, and then to 10. Once I hit 10, then I'll start creating products that I can sell digitally, um, because I want to make sure that I get these done right and I have consistent income every month.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to videography, video production, it's
Very
like
up and
being a
down.
being a real estate agent.
Oh yeah.
You have a big chunk of money that you get, from a project, and then
Commission.
maybe commission,
Yeah, you can
and
get on a
then
hot streak for like 10 deals straight and then like the
yes,
next 3 months you're just dry.
right, exactly. So that's why I needed to get consistent monthly revenue every single month, and this way it makes sense to get that for the clients through digital marketing.
Yeah,
So
are you trying to is it a case by case model that you're charging these people or do you have an itemized list like for me to build you a website it's X, for me to copyright the website it's X, for videographer it's X, like basically like an a la carte setup, or are you just like you go in every single time like hey this is the package I'm willing to kind of give to you?
a
Like is
package, yeah,
package. You're so
package, yeah,
case by case basis.
yeah. And so I kind of dial it down to the types of businesses that I'm going to be working with, but I set it up to where it's like I can take this and it's going to be easy to implement for this next business.
Okay.
So I made it that way so it's easier for them, easier for me. They're not like nitpicking on certain things. You don't want to really make it complicated for the client to understand. You just want to make it easy for them to see like how everything's going to flow. You don't have to take them through all like the back end like
No,
detail type stuff because it's just going to be going over their head.
no, unless like you really want to know about it. Like I know about it on a surface level, so I'm not getting screwed over. But like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna try to understand the algorithms and the full
Oh
strength of keywords and everything. I'm like, no, that's why I pay you. Like
yeah.
no, like I don't want to deal with
Right.
that.
Right.
But do you think you're gonna have because right now your assistants or the people you collaborate with, you're operating on a independent contractor basis. Um, do you think you're gonna have to actually hire employees and pay them a salary with maybe some rewards and
With a
bonuses in there?
salary, I'm not sure. definitely a full-time contract, um, someone that I contract out full-time eventually, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Once I start building up this clientele, I know for sure maybe something with ads, like an ads manager, something like that. Um,
Mhm.
but we'll see when I get there.
Yeah, you're going to partner
Yeah,
with different companies initially, like,
right.
hey, like, this is my package, I'll handle everything, and you're going to make these relationship partners, like with these marketing companies that you've done doing videographer stuff with, and you're
Yeah.
like, hey, like, I'm going to handle all of it. I'm your face. I'm your main line of communication, but on the back end, you're going to be doing like, hey, like, Billy over at Google Ads, like, you got this, like, Joey over at Facebook, you got this,
Hmm.
like, hey, Tommy or Susie, you got the fucking videos and stuff like
Right.
that. Um,
Yeah.
but until then, like, I do agree with you, building up the client base and having that solid reoccurring revenue and building up those people um, will definitely dictate how you progress. And it's going to be this fine line
Hmm.
of, hey, I'm about to have a mental breakdown because I don't sleep and I have all this stuff going on, to like, I'm not that busy and I can totally do this all day long. And then like
Right.
when you're like on the verge of breaking, you're like, okay, I got to hire somebody out
Yes.
and then
Yes.
do full time.
Right. Right.
And you're going to
Like
make a
when you
little
get to
less
that point.
money. You're going to make a little less money in the short term, but in the long term, you're going to have time, which to me is real wealth, is just having the freedom to do
Oh,
what you
100%.
want.
100%.
And just the scalability in the whole matter and just
Yeah.
training people. The thing
And
that
and
I
I'll and
know,
I'll tell
yeah,
you what too,
yeah, tell me.
when it comes to that, because back to real estate,
Yeah.
and how COVID kind of helped shift that. So I, like, before COVID happened, I would do residential here and there here in Southern California, but I will also do commercial for commercial buildings. So videos
Highly
for
underserved market.
highly underserved. But that's why I looked at that. And so once COVID hit, I was like, okay, I need to still make revenue during this time. I think this might be the best time to find a niche to go deep into without interacting with too many people. So this was like, I don't know,
Fair.
when did it really, like,
March.
March? Yeah, this was around March.
March. Yeah.
And so I reached out to um, the teams for the commercial buildings, um, and I reached out to them and said, "Hey, do you need videos for your commercial buildings?" And these were out in, like, Ontario. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Oh, you're in industrial heaven. I want to make
yes,
this clear. Like, because I work in the commercial real estate space, and the Inland
Inland Empire.
Empire of California is one of the hottest industrial markets in the world,
Yeah.
country.
So what I did was I went on, like, LoopNet. You know LoopNet?
Yep. Commercial
Yeah.
real estate marketing
And
platform.
I just messaged every single real estate agent I could find that had their buildings for sale or leased in the Inland Empire area.
But you
Um,
didn't. But you didn't. This was more of, whereas like when you first started out with the schools, you did a tailored like quality thing. But this time you're like, I'm just going to bombard you.
yeah,
Like, come
because
on,
at this
here's my
time, like, this is
portfolio.
when people were, like, kind of panicking, like, all right, what are we going to do? Businesses are shutting down. How are we going to make money? And I was like, all right, I'm not just going to sit there, you know,
No,
just twiddling my thumbs.
that's not the Mike way.
um, I was like, there has to be a way that I can keep my revenue consistent for this month and the next month. And so without dealing with people too much, and it's real estate. So
All day
I re-
long.
I reached out to these to the
Brokers. Yeah.
industrial real estate teams that were selling. Got one under my belt, filmed that. And what I also thought about too was, because they were doing, like, the 3D tours
Uh-huh.
too, which was a big thing.
Huge.
But I had, like, a 360 camera that I have with me. And I was like, why don't I just add that in? That way I can justify.
100%. You're
I
already
can
out there.
Yeah. I was like, this is because before my price was already, set for just video itself, right? But in these types of situations, when, like, there's a crisis and things like that,
You gotta adapt.
recession,
You gotta adapt.
you can still keep your same price. You can
Yeah.
just add some value, add a certain feature to what you already have. It's not going to be like a big deal. You can still get the same amount of money.
No, it's literally a cherry on top of a sundae.
Exactly. And so I forgot who said this, but they did the same thing during recession back in 2008. You keep the same price, just add a little bit more to justify it. And so I was like, all right, I'll just add a 3D tour to the video I already have. Pretty simple. And that's what I did. And so I was able to keep the same price. All right, this is the price for every single buildings. And there is, as I drove through there were tons of buildings, like, 100,000 plus square feet. So I did that. And yeah, I probably got the most business I had from the previous couple months just by doing that process.
Let's go.
I eventually hired out an editor because I, like you said, reached that point where it's like you're going crazy. You have an edit to do, and then you're going to be doing another one tomorrow.
And you're driving out there every day, because where are you based at?
I'm driving out. OC.
Okay, so I mean, you're driving like a couple hours a day, or what? To at least the site, like 2 hours, hour to 2 hours. Okay, not bad. Not bad.
An hour, 45 minutes to an hour, so it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. But at that point, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna shoot a tutorial video. This is how it's going to be set for these types of buildings. Put your artistic spin, but follow this guideline. So I found an editor, and he does a great job. And now when I'm out filming one, he's editing one. Okay. So that way it saves me time. So when I come back, I just send all the files to him. Then I'm able to do some work on my own. Instead of editing, I'm able to do something that pushes the business forward instead of being stuck. So it's working on the business instead of in the business. So, there's times when I have to work in the business, for example, editing projects, because I feel more comfortable doing that. But there's a lot of things that you can work on that's on the business that pushes the business forward. So in the business stuff, you can delegate. On the business, you can push it forward. Obviously, you can delegate other stuff for on the business, but you get what I mean.
No, I do get what you mean. It's a constant battle I think every single business owner or entrepreneur goes through, because I think anybody that wants to start a business is inherently has this micromanaged trait, because they have their own vision for what they're trying to accomplish, and they don't necessarily trust people in the beginning. But I think what's going to lead to your success and what's really going to help you scale, and what really people should listen to, is these tutorial videos you do. Is, all right, it's going to take a little bit of an investment of my time to showcase it. But if I do it right, this is super replicable that you can take to all your employees and even implement into the interview process. It's like, follow this video, maybe like what you did on your Seahawks internship. It's like, here you go. Watch this tutorial video. It's 5 minutes, 10 minutes long, or however long it is. And here's this footage, and here you go. Go. Show me if you can do this.
I highly recommend that. Yes. And I was watching this, I guess she was like an owner of like a coffee shop, but she owns like different coffee shops. I like to watch like business owners on YouTube. And,
dude, it's great.
And their vlogs. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's better. It's a more productive Netflix for sure.
Yeah, 100%. You learn something.
Right.
And she was saying she used to go there every night, have to train newbies on how to do stuff. And she was like, why don't I just record myself myself in the kitchen or in the cafe showing how to do specific things. That way it's evergreen. They just say,
forever. Click
the link, watch the video. They're good.
Dude, it's huge. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'll get to it. And they never touch it. They never even pursue it. And then in reality, they're still frantically screaming around like, oh God, I can't do this. Like, oh, I need to do it. And I mean, every single person I feel like has at least like an hour to 2 hours a week to do a content creation or do a tutorial video that's going to save them 10, 20 fold on the back end,
Hmm.
because it's replicable. I mean, for certain jobs, especially a cafe, I mean, these people are working minimum wage and tips, and it's a replicable job. And it's like, hey, you can do this over and over again. It's not an art necessarily. It's a very replicable
Hmm.
task. And so, I mean, we definitely experienced that in kind of our world as well. But, um, dude, I love it. I mean, you evolve, you adapt. Like I said earlier on, you got this guerrilla marketing as just kind of feel about you. You always have, and it's cool to see
Thanks,
how
man.
your content and creation has evolved, and how not only that has evolved, but how your company is evolving. And it's super fascinating. I think you add a lot of value to people like myself, who's trying to figure that out in his own world, and other people trying to get into this world, because you are so transparent. I love on Instagram how you do these videos where you show the behind the scenes and like how it looks at the same time. So like, hey, here's me walking with my gimbal. This is the settings I'm using. These are the angles I'm doing, and this is how it actually looks. I love those videos. Can't get
Really?
enough of
Ah,
them.
that's good to know, man. Because
Yeah.
when it comes to like social media, like Instagram and things like that, I when you post certain things, you can see that there's a lot of traction because, like, for example, I notice that when I post photos or videos of gear, like camera gear, it
Hmm.
gets more attention technically than if I were to post those like informative videos. But I don't
Yeah.
really like doing that because what do you learn from a piece of gear? Because when it
Um,
comes to,
I mean, you learn
filmmaking,
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
when it comes to making videos, it's not always about the gear. And a lot of, people get that mixed up because they think I have to get the most expensive piece
But
of
that's
equipment.
because those camera companies market it. That's why they
Oh
market it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
buy the most expensive thing. You'll
You're
make you a
gonna
great
you're gonna be
videographer. You're gonna be Steven Spielberg if you get this
yes,
$10,000 camera. And you're like, what do I do
exactly.
with this thing? You're like, what?
Exactly. And you know what? That's what just a side note, that's what I did too. Like like the red camera, pretty
Yeah.
expensive. I rented it out for a shoot and just to get a feel for it, but also use it because it's a high end shoot. It was great and all. I liked it, but did it fit with what my majority of projects were? No. Would I spend that amount of money, 20 grand, 50 grand for that camera, just for that camera, no other accessories, nothing else? Would I spend that much for the videos I'm making? No.
No way.
Or would I spend maybe 2 grand for a good professional camera that still shoots great quality video, but I'm mobile with it. I'm able to use it better. I'm able to invest in other equipment to make my videos better in addition to the camera. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what people get mixed
No,
up with,
it's the full picture.
sometimes.
It's the full
Yeah.
picture, man. And like I said, I mean, you shot some videos where you shot them on your iPhone, and I almost looks just as good as a DSLR or whatever. You're kind of just like, what the
Thanks.
heck, dude? It's really unbelievable. And please, like, take his course. I'll put a link in the description for it. But
Oh,
Zuni, yeah,
before that course, I'm switching it over, so I'm adding new stuff. So
yeah,
just
nice.
so they don't get
Table it.
confused in the future, I'll send you the updated link.
All right, I love it. And
Yeah.
no, dude, I really appreciate it. But my last question to everybody is how do you define success? Like, what does success mean to you?
Success. This is funny because I'm always usually the host for my podcast and
Yeah.
asking people questions, and now
I
I'm put
don't
on
think
the
about
spot.
it.
No, look at you, man. This is great.
Yeah.
Um, Success. I believe that success is doing something that you enjoy, doing something that, um, like in the end, you know that will make you fulfilled, even during the journey. You know that there's going to be ups and downs, and you may feel, down, maybe 75% of the time, but keeping that main goal in mind, that dream in mind, and achieving it. I don't know. For me, that's success. Being fulfilled, um, and along the way helping others. I think that's success. Not keeping it all to yourself, but I would say even more so helping others along the way. What you can contribute to all those here on earth, because we're all going to be we're all here for a limited amount of time. Why not provide as much value to those around you that need the help? To me, that's successful. That's more success.
Yeah.
Like staying in line with what your dream is, what you want to accomplish, but helping as many people as you can along the way, and seeing how many lives you've improved. I don't know. That's success for me.
Doesn't have any money involved.
No, I
I
mean, it's
love it.
nice. It's nice, but along
It's
the way, it's
doesn't
nice.
mean anything. It's
It
cool to
doesn't
be
mean anything.
comfortable. Doesn't mean anything.
Right. I believe that money is energy. It's not an end goal. It's the means of which to provide you that freedom in life, to not only give you the life that you want, but also help improve the lives of others. So,
Dude, I gotta end there. I gotta end there. But Zuni, before we get off, how do people find you?
oh, yeah. So Mike Zuniga Films, as you can see right here
Yeah.
in the video. But if you're on audio, you'll be able to you'll link
Yeah, I'll link your
the
Instagram, I'll
links.
link your website and everything
Yeah,
else.
Instagram, YouTube, mostly on those two platforms, and my website as well. So
Awesome, man.
yeah,
I really appreciate it, man. You were a stud, and I just can't thank you enough.
thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Cool, man.